my life 2 years ago is 100% different from what it was now. Now I assume myself, I know myself more, I know where I want to go and that, but today I'm fulfilled, with my job, my relationship. I feel like it's going in the direction I want.
You just casually mentioned that you're in a relationship, by the way. I appreciate that.
Low key.
In this video, man, I'm going to show you the exact step-by-step process I use to get this overly logical, analytical, and overthinking nice guy to let go of his anxious attachment style, stop being afraid of looking stupid in social situations, and also learn how to be less logical and more charismatic with women. And now, as a result, he's attracted his dream girlfriend and he's got all the skills to maintain her forever and have the most amazing relationship.
First of all, I was starting from scratch in terms of seduction, and had one long-term relationship before, but it was a very toxic one, and also to attract a girl, I didn't do anything.
So with G, we basically start from scratch because he just got out of a really toxic breakup that completely wrecked his confidence. It was like a negative confidence, basically. G was basically afraid to be judged by strangers or by women who he found attractive. He was terrified of looking stupid. And actually, keeping women attracted was also an issue for him because he had an anxious attachment style when he joined my program, right? But you might be wondering, okay, why did G decide to work with someone rather than doing it by himself, like so many guys try to do?
When you think back, like what made you say, "Fuck it, man, I'm gonna give this a shot"?
For myself to stop going out, or stop the bullshit, the drugs and that. I think I needed help, but I didn't know what kind of help.
So evidently he lacked clarity and structure. So the first thing we did was to jump on a vision call and map out his exact issues. Yeah. So Guillaume was too afraid to approach a girl when people were around, for example, and he was always analyzing what women would think of him, and because of that, he could not approach, he could not set boundaries in his relationships, he could not flirt. He was basically the typical agreeable, nice guy around. Now, building awareness of the deeper issues is obviously just the first step, right? The next step is to create clarity of the exact actions that he needs to do and enforce repetition. So when he joined, I mapped out a 4-month plan personalized to him to eliminate any confusion or fucking overwhelm. So like instead of just trial and error of what content to watch or what actions to take, I mapped out a personalized dashboard with the exact actions to do per week. Why do I do this? Because 90% of my clients have worked with coaches or therapists before, and the one thing they always fucking complain about is the lack of structure, lack of accountability, and lack of direct feedback. And because of that, they fall off. And because of that, I map out a personalized plan so that you can just focus on execution, because we reduce the friction that your brain could use as an excuse to do the thing.
What area are you most proud of that you've grown in?
The one area is the woman.
The ladies.
So what does the plan or my coaching focus on to get you fast results and let go of the anxious attachment side, for example, and also become more charismatic? So 2 things, basically. I call them inner game and outer game. Inner game refers to removing limiting beliefs, right? The emotional regulation inside of you, and removing any kind of fucking baggage from the past, like unlearning to be afraid to be seen, unlearning the fear of approaching, unlearning the fear of making mistakes or looking stupid. And then outer game focuses on anything related to flirting, being charismatic, how you connect on a deeper level or on a deeper emotional level with women, and how to stop being a fucking Kevin around women and become a man, a Hercules. So why do you need to focus on inner and outer game at the same time? So imagine you're a basketball player, right? And if all you do is focus on inner game, that's like basically a basketball player who's super calm enough, right, to throw a 3-pointer in, for example, the last seconds. But unfortunately, he's never thrown a 3-pointer, so he misses because he lacks the skills, right? Or the other extreme is like when you only focus on outer game, only on skills, like you're great at scoring 3-pointers, but when no one is watching, right? But when you do it in stressful situations, the last second of the game, and your throw determines whether or not you win or lose. And because you have you got the nerves now, like all your skills go out the window and you throw it and it just fucking misses. Because not because of a lack of a skill, but because of a lack of emotional regulation, aka lack of an inner game. The lack of inner game, for example, makes 10 out of 10 outer game skills obsolete. The same as a 10 out of 10 inner game makes a 0 out of 10 outer game skills obsolete too. So you need to develop a 10 out of 10 score in both inner and outer game. So G basically, he lacked both, right? For example, he was terrified to be sexual with women, and he also lacked the basic skills of flirting. For example, he thought flirting meant complimenting women, like telling them they're beautiful, that they're cute. But that was fundamentally just pedestalizing someone. Then on top, he's an engineer, so his articulation and communication is straight to the point, super logical, and boring. It does not create any emotional spikes in women. I'm going to give you specific examples in just a second on how we, or like what skills and what frameworks we used to help him develop this like charismatic, like 10 out of 10 charismatic skills. Him to go on multiple dates and actually attract his dream girlfriend and now keep her attracted because of it.
And what about women? Like, what helped you most?
Texting advice, because
Mhm.
we all trying to find our woman, right?
Mhm.
And that helps a lot because fuck, if you don't know how to talk to your matches on Hinge or Bumble or whatever, then you never close, you never get a date.
Mhm.
And I think um yeah, this part really helped me when I was single. It was good to get this, this everyday contact with like someone who just like knows how to hold frame and
So when most men try to flirt, like it comes out like clumsy and overly direct. Like most men just don't really know how to be subtle, and they don't really know how to tease or like excite women. And most men's ideas of subtlety is basically like bluntly stating like something outright. But being subtle, what I mean, of course, is like you want to say it without saying it. So you don't state what you mean outright. For example, when G liked the woman and he wanted to tell her that she looks amazing, he literally said it point blank. This dress looks amazing on you. You're so gorgeous. You look amazing today. But there's no tension. It's like basically watching a movie, and at the beginning, you already know what's going to happen. There's no plot twists. And you would not watch a movie that is flatline, boring, and there are no plot twists. Game of Thrones, for example, was such a great series, except for season 8, because there were so many plot twists. Unexpected killing of Ned Stark. That was a major like mindfuck for all of us. It's the same kind of plot twist that you want to create through being subtle with women. So for example, instead of saying like, oh, this dress looks so amazing on you, or you look gorgeous in that dress, you could fundamentally say, or here's what I would say basically is like, I didn't know a black dress could look so good on blondes. Obviously, if she's blonde, right? I basically say the exact same thing, but in such a way that it leaves enough room for interpretation, whether or not I mean her or women or blondes in general. That creates more tension, that creates more excitement in it. Because when you imply things rather than just stating them explicitly, it feels more exciting to women. The reason why this is because there's this degree of safe intrigue in it. It's like she feels comfortable and assured enough that you like her, but not so assured of it that she's bored with the lack of challenge. Now, with this implication, right, with this subtle implication, you fundamentally create enough intrigue and enough challenge to interest her, while also still communicating enough of your desire for her to put her at ease with you, right? So you build enough rapport, you build enough comfort and enough connection so that she can then basically continue opening herself up to the challenge that is fundamentally attracting you. So with G specifically, we helped him achieve this in 2 ways, right? First, we have like weekly charisma calls where I coached him and my other clients through role plays and like communication breakdowns on how to change their thinking, their identity, and how to perform under pressure. AKA me, for example, pretend to be a girl, right? Sometimes I put my fucking kitchen towel on and like say, oh yes. And the guys love it because it's fun. And on top, G had like a personal channel, right? Where he could upload like any text conversations that we've been having with girls from approaching, from the dating apps. And I would break them down, or my team would break them down into like, okay, these are the things that were good, things that were like not so good, and the things that we can improve on. And because we are using real life examples, it accelerates the growth curve, obviously. Because you have a 24/7 access through a direct communication channel with me, you don't have to fucking wait for the next coaching call, which stalls your growth. Now, as I said, however, the quality of execution of your outer game is capped by the quality of your inner game. As you remember, G came out of a toxic breakup, so his confidence was just at a negative, right? So he couldn't assert himself, he was shaking when someone saw him approaching, or the thought of setting a boundary with a girl that he liked or loved or like, found attractive, like created a panic in him. The moment he liked the girl, like he turned into what I call a Kevin, right? Like shadow himself, afraid to take up space, afraid to say the wrong thing, and coming up with like 321 fucking reasons and worst case scenarios why she would not like it. So obviously we needed to fucking fix this ASAP, which we did, obviously.
Proud of that you've done on the inner side of things.
trick me with this question. What are you the most proud of? I hate it. I don't know.
I know. That's why I questioned it.
My life 2 years ago is 100% different from what it was now. Now I assume myself, I know myself more, I know where I want to go and that, but confident that everything like will come into place and that, and I feel today I'm fulfilled, with my job, my relationship. I feel like it's going in the direction I want.
You just casually mentioned that you're in a relationship, by the way. I appreciate that.
So amazing, right? So how did my team and I achieve this? So basically there are 4 layers that we used to get G to this point. So layer 1 was neuroscience-based coaching to build tolerance for discomfort and without shutting down. So G and a lot of guys in general, they emotionally shut down, they get nervous, they get stuck in their head around women they love. And a lot of coaches will tell you, just push through, try harder. It's not a discipline problem, it's a fear problem. And that fear stems from your nervous system, right? Not your logical part of the brain. That means we must target the nervous system and retrain your baseline response to pressure. So I use a neuroscience-driven coaching approach that raises your discomfort ceiling so that stress becomes something you can move through, not something that shuts you fucking down, right? So I do this by making the environment safe without making it soft. So I always tell my clients, what do you actually remember from college, for example? Do you remember the solo study sessions in the library, by yourself? Or do you remember, the fun nights, I don't know, playing FIFA or talking shit with your boys? 95% of you remember the fun times, with the boys. That's what creates memories, and that's what's going to make learning stick. So how do I do that? We have interactive quizzes and role plays, and all while having a fucking laugh, bro. I rewired interpretation of fear from something to run away from actually into something that you run towards to, you lean into. So fundamentally, you start embracing fear, something positive rather than something negative. How do I do that? In the group sessions, it's a psychological safe environment, basically, where you can make mistakes, and that teaches you that mistakes aren't bad. Because the reason why you're so afraid of making mistakes around women is because you feel like the consequence is unmanageable, and that's why you shut down. Then the next layer is basically daily reprogramming through spotting. So G had worked with a coach and a therapist before, and what he disliked was the lack of accountability and support when he needed it the most, basically. He had told me that when he fell off, which happens naturally when you grow, when you work on yourself, right, you hit an upper limit, neither the therapist or the coach reached out. He was just frustrated about that because there was no progression in between the coaching calls, and he was all let to himself, right? But what's the fucking point of having a coach when he does not fucking support you, when he does not fucking spot you when you need him the most? It's like asking for a spotter at the gym and the fucking guy doesn't fucking spot you. So with G, my team and I checked in with him every second day and in his personal channel, and we gave him mini coaching exercises. What are you ashamed of today? What has been your progress this week? How many approaches have you done? How many messages have you sent? What fear has come up when you were talking to strangers? Now, the third layer that we use is what I call the German blitz. Yeah, I'm German, by the way. So my coaching style is basically German bluntness with German efficiency. But I think it's best when Guillaume explains how I actually coach.
Actually, out of curiosity, man, what was it that, what do you like about my coaching style?
What I like is the straightforward, your straightforward personality. Yeah, you're blunt. You don't hide what you think. Yeah, we see the real you, and I don't know, when you have things to tell to someone, you tell them. It's not like, oh yeah, you're amazing, you're gonna manage, la la la. It's represent a kind of father figure for most of the men in the group.
So why is this German blitz so powerful? Because your brain operates within a comfort zone, and that is basically limited or capped by your upper limit. So when you grow, your nervous system initially resists. It doesn't recognize the new territory as safe yet. So a gentle approach won't trigger this neuroplasticity that is needed to grow. So when you always stay in your comfort zone, right, you always stay a Kevin. But we want to turn you into a Hercules. And in order to get you to your Hercules, I shock your system through direct but respectful feedback, yeah, and a deliberate discomfort. It's basically like a gym workout for your mind muscle. There's strategic stress. That shock disrupts the old neural pathways in your brain, right? And it signals to your brain that adaptation is necessary, that growth is necessary. And also this taught Guillaume choosability, that he had the power to choose his response in stressful situations. This taught him emotional regulation, to stay calm and function properly despite feeling intense emotions. Basically, it allowed him to score a 3-pointer at sudden death that would determine whether or not the team would win or lose. And by handling those situations, by not shutting down, Guillaume was finally able to stay nonchalant and confident around women, because he removed his fear of judgment. Now, speaking of fear, a lot of guys are scared to reach out and ask for help. So if your current mindset, if your current actions got you fucking stuck, like what makes you think more of the same actions and more of the same thinking will actually like get you out? That's basically just hope. That's not a fucking strategy. And Guillaume came to that same conclusion. And let me show you what he had to say about this.
Like, what would you tell like someone who's watching this right now, sort of scared as well to make that jump, right? Like into, fuck man, I'm gonna get guidance. What would you tell that person?
Like, don't be scared of asking for help. Yeah, men won't seek help, either ashamed to ask for help or lying to themselves. If you're lying to yourself and saying everything is under control, but you have moments where you say, man, that's shit, I don't have this, I don't have that, and I want to be here and I don't know how to reach, then don't wait and just jump in.
By the way, man, if you want the same results as G or even more, like why don't you apply working with me? If you're a smart man, which I know you are because you're watching this video, stop wasting another decade of Kevinness and like step into your Hercules power, because the amazing women that you want in your life, the amazing relationships that you want in your life, they are flocking to the men that are operating on a Hercules level. If you want to become that man, apply below. The link is in the description. I'd love to work with you.